Welcome back to TNLP, the newsletter podcast, brought to you by the HazMat Guys. I'm your host, Timmy, with the latest from the hazmat world. I feel like we're covering threats A to Z this week. We start with breaking news out of San Antonio, where an industrial fire near the international airport prompted a massive emergency response Monday morning. Woody Woodward of the San Antonio Fire Department told KENS 5 that the fire broke out at MT Texas, a business that manufactures and refurbishes airplane parts. Woodward said firefighters faced several challenges due to hazardous materials on site, including 500 gallons each of sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. Although the situation involved dangerous chemicals, officials confirmed there is no threat to the public. Fire crews and hazmat teams remain on scene and will continue monitoring the area until a specialized cleanup team arrives. All employees were safely evacuated, and no injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Meanwhile, in Indiana, cleanup continued Monday on a hazardous spill at Zentis in Plymouth. Marshall County Emergency Management Agency Director Jack Garner updated the public on the hazmat incident that occurred Thursday morning. At about 7:45 in the parking lot at Zentis on Oak Drive, Plymouth firefighters were dispatched to an injury accident at the Zentis facility involving a chemical spill. South Bend Hazmat responded to assist and spent the entire day working alongside Plymouth firefighters to mitigate the situation. One individual was injured in the accident and taken to South Bend Memorial Hospital, where they were reported to be in stable condition on Thursday. The scene remained active all day on Thursday as South Bend Fire Hazmat, Elkhart Hazmat, and InServe worked through the night with a hard stop at 11 p.m. to allow crews to rest and regroup. Operations resumed on Friday at 9 a.m., focusing on the safe removal of hazardous materials. Multiple departments assisted Plymouth Fire, and South Bend Fire Hazmat resumed command due to the specific protective suits required for handling the chemicals. With the temperatures near 90 degrees, personnel had to be rotated out every 20 minutes to prevent heat-related exhaustion. The second day of operations was successful, but an operational pause was implemented at 4 p.m. due to fatigue and ongoing high temperatures. The incident has taken longer than initially anticipated due to the volume and nature of the chemicals involved in the semi-truck. Crews will regroup and return to complete the final phase of the cleanup. Shout out to those on scene in these high heat conditions when the stakes are high as it is. Next up, we head to Sylmar, California, where a big rig car carrier loaded with 8 Teslas caught fire on the Golden State Freeway on Saturday, resulting in toxic smoke that shut down southbound lanes. We love a lithium-ion story. The fire was reported at 5:35 p.m. Saturday on the southbound Golden State Freeway just north of Balboa Boulevard, according to the California Highway Patrol. The Los Angeles Fire Department reported the fire out at about 9:30 p.m. The transport with its burning load of lithium-ion battery-equipped cars was off to the side of the truck lane, but the toxic smoke from the fire made it necessary to shut down all of the southbound lanes, including the truck lane, according to the CHP. Traffic was rerouted to the northbound Antelope Valley Freeway. Traffic on the transition from the southbound Antelope Valley Freeway was diverted to the northbound Golden State Freeway, according to the CHP. Efforts were underway to reopen the Golden State Freeway lanes, but the truck lane would remain closed while firefighters continued to put out the flames and deal with hazardous runoff. Additional firefighters from Los Angeles City and County Fire Departments were slowed by the freeway traffic, according to the LAFD's Lindsay Lance. The cab of the tractor became engulfed in flames, but the driver got out, the CHP announced. The initial cause of the fire was not yet known. Video from the scene showed that there were 8 cars on the trailer and that 6 of them were burned. The semi-tractor appeared to be only a frame, engine, and wheels. Caltrans was on the scene to help remove the 2 unburned cars from the trailer, Lance said. No injuries were initially reported, Lance said. Motorists are encouraged to keep well clear of the smoke. The driver was asked to contact his employer to see if they could get a cleanup crew to the scene, or Caltrans would have to handle the cleanup, the CHP reported. Once the fire was out, it was expected to take 2 or 3 hours to remove the vehicles from the remains of the big rig and clear the truck lanes, Lance said. Do I even need to say it? Lithium-ion incidents need to be trained on, and there's only one place for hazmat training that actually sticks. Speaking of training, we have a bonus story this week highlighting the importance of preparedness with an unfortunate loss of life. Out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a man was found dead inside a home in Perry North on Tuesday afternoon last week. Crews were called to the home in the 3800 block of Perrysville Avenue just before 1:30 p.m. Pittsburgh police say the incident began as a welfare check for someone struggling with mental health issues. Upon arrival, first responders found a man in his 40s unresponsive inside. He was later pronounced dead by medics. Police say HazMat responded because there appeared to be a mixture of noxious chemicals in the apartment. Residents of other nearby apartments were evacuated as a precaution while HazMat tested the chemicals found. The roadway was temporarily closed during the investigation. So how do you train for an incident like this? Check out the HazMat Guys' training on chemical suicides now at thehazmatguys.com/training. That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Newsletter Podcast, brought to you by the HazMat Guys. Reminder, the Roundtable Scholarship is still accepting applications. Check out more details at thehazmatguys.com/roundtable for more info and to apply now. Don't forget to subscribe to the weekly newsletter at thehazmatguys.com for links to TNLP and other hazmat gold. We'll be back next week. Timmy, over and out.